welcome to the World Report. Well, you're watching NDTV. Let's get you our top story, and that is a mass shooting in which 15 people were killed during the Jewish celebration at Sydney's Bondi beach. That was a terrorist attack inspired by Islamic State. Australia's Federal Police Commissioner has gone on to say that the suspects were the father-son duo, aged 50 and 24. Authorities have said the older man was shot dead while his son was being treated at a hospital on Tuesday. Earlier, the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has also said that the suspects appeared to have been radicalized by beliefs associated with the Islamic State militant group. Albanese has also said the remarks were based on evidence obtained, including the presence of Islamic State flags in the vehicle that has now been seized.
To a terrorist attack inspired by Islamic State, allegedly committed by a father and son. There is no evidence to suggest other individuals were involved in this attack. However, we caution that this could change given it is early in our investigation.
And it was Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese who visited a Sydney hospital to pay a visit to a man who disarmed an apparent gunman during that mass shooting that took place at the Bondi beach in Australia. Albanese described Ahmed Al-Ahmed as a true Australian hero, and here's a special report on the man who inspired billions across the globe with his bravery.
Very strong.
Thank you very
Your
much.
heart is strong.
Thank you.
Your courage is inspiring.
Thank you very much.
In the immediate aftermath of one of the most devastating mass shootings in Australia's modern history, a video rapidly circulating on social media showed a man charging from behind and restraining a gunman. A Sydney resident who disarmed a terrorist during a deadly attack at Australia's Bondi beach. His name is Ahmed Al-Ahmed, now being hailed as a hero. Father of two, Ahmed hid behind parked cars before charging at one of the terrorists from behind, seizing his rifle and knocking him to the ground. Following his act of bravery, his name spread widely, as did a detail that turned out to be wrong. Various media outlets and publications described Ahmed Al-Ahmed as a fruit shop owner. But the fact is that he's not a fruit seller from Sydney's Sutherland Shire. He is in fact the owner of a tobacco and specialty convenience store which he has operated since 2021. The misidentification spread rapidly as Australians searched for ways to express gratitude in the aftermath of the attack, which left at least 15 people dead and dozens more wounded. As a result, messages of gratitude were mistakenly sent to a fruit shop in southern Sydney that people believed belonged to Al-Ahmed. Sutherland Best Fresh quickly addressed the confusion. In a Facebook post on Monday morning, the owners wrote that they were deeply saddened by the tragedy in Bondi and clarified that there had been a misunderstanding regarding the hero's identity and business. They stated that they did not know Ahmed Al-Ahmed nor the location of any fruit shop associated with him, while praising his courage, wishing him a speedy recovery and offering prayers for all those affected by the attack. Al-Ahmed is now recovering in a hospital as tributes pour in for him. NDTV Bureau Report.
In other news, US President Donald Trump has filed a defamation lawsuit against the BBC, accusing the broadcaster of manipulating footage of his January 6, 2021 speech in a Panorama documentary. Trump alleges that BBC defamed him and breached trade practices laws by editing the speech in a misleading way. He is seeking $5 billion in damages for each of the two claims. Now, the BBC has issued an apology to Trump, and this happened in November, but rejected his demand for financial compensation, maintaining that there is no legal basis for a defamation case. Trump's legal team claims the broadcaster intentionally, maliciously, and deceptively altered his speech, arguing that the edit distorted the meaning and harmed his reputation. My colleague Priyanka gets us more details.
Trump said that the Panorama documentary that was aired January 6th made it falsely look like he directed supporters to march to the U.S. Capitol and fight like hell because they spliced things that he said that were almost 1 hour apart. Trump's legal team has called it a malicious and deceptive edit, which it was. The BBC has apologized. Of course, headlining the top executives had resigned already after apologizing. They said that the edit was an error of judgment and they pulled the program as well, but damage already done, right? The corporation insists that the case has no legal basis, arguing that a reputable news organization should not be held legally responsible for editorial mistakes. But Trump and team has not taken this lightly, right? This is not the first time that the BBC has been called out for false news. So Trump and his lawyers are framing this case and suing for that much as part of a broader battle against what they call media bias as well. And they're pointing fingers not just at American outlets. He sued American outlets as well for the same thing, but now at BBC as well, which is also, as Vishal said, under fire for many different things.
Right, thank you, Priyanka, for those details. Let's just switch tracks to legendary Hollywood filmmaker and actor Rob Reiner, known for directing several iconic films, including When Harry Met Sally, and this is Spinal Tap, as well as The Princess Bride. He was found stabbed to death along with his wife Michelle in their Los Angeles home. Now it's their son, Nick Reiner, who has been arrested in connection to the death of his parents. According to the police in Los Angeles, Nick Reiner is responsible for the death of the two. Now, meanwhile, the U.S. the U.S. President Donald Trump has stirred up a row on social media. The President of the United States is saying that without evidence, the two reportedly died due to the anger he caused others. And this is what he's gone on to call Trump derangement syndrome. Reiner was a vocal critic of President Trump.
We have our robbery homicide division handling the investigation. They worked throughout the night on this case and were able to take into custody Nick Reiner, a suspect in this case. He was subsequently booked for murder and is being held on $4 million bail.
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. He said he knew it was false. In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. You know, it was the Russia hoax. He was one of the people behind it. I think he hurt himself in career-wise. He became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all, in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country. Yeah.
In other news, a suspected New Year's Eve terror plot by an extremist group has been foiled by federal authorities in the United States. The FBI said that it thwarted a credible and imminent terrorist threat, arresting 4 people accused of plotting coordinated bomb attacks across the Los Angeles area on New Year's Eve. It's the FBI Director Akash Patel who went on to say that the suspects were members of a radical offshoot of the Turtle Island Liberation Front, an extremist group described by authorities as a pro-Palestinian, anti-law enforcement and anti-government. Now, he also said that their arrest likely saved many lives. And in Ukraine, it's Ukraine's domestic security agency, the SBU, that has gone on to say that it carried out a landmark strike on a Russian submarine at the Black Sea port, claiming the vessel severely had damage. You know, there was critical damage that was suffered and was effectively has been put out of action, according to the SBU. The operation that involved the underwater subsea baby drones and marked the first time such a method has been used. Footage released by the agency appeared to show a powerful explosion inside the port. Now, Russia, while confirming that Ukraine attempted to make that attack and that, they did attempt to attack the area, but dismissed the claim, saying that the strike failed and that no ships or submarines were damaged. Let's get you more news, and this is Prime Minister Modi, who has addressed the India-Jordan Business Forum at Amman with Jordan's King Abdullah saying that his visit to Jordan will boost bilateral linkages between the two nations. He arrived in Jordan for a 2-day visit on Monday, and the visit was part of a 3-country tour that will also take Prime Minister Modi to Ethiopia and to Oman this week. The police officers they were going door to door as far as Monday is concerned, seeking footage from home surveillance cameras as investigators have renewed a manhunt for the gunman who killed 2 students at the Brown University. The search for the suspect, which included posting new video footage of the possible shooter, resumed. Previously, authorities released a man they had detained over the weekend as a person of interest. The officials said that there were no credible threats to the community. The news that the gunman remained at large put the province back on the edge.
Province police! Everybody's hands. Hands. I see there's something going on. We're here to help you. Just listen to what we have to say, okay? All right, breathe. Anybody hurt?
Let's go grab it now. Quickly.
Go, quick, go.
In orderly, fast. Let's go. Good job.
Staying with news of the United States, its President Donald Trump has signed an executive order declaring fentanyl has been a weapon of mass destruction, and the move dramatically expands the United States government's authority to fight the synthetic opioid blamed for thousands of Americans who have overdosed. Their deaths have taken place because of an overdose every single year. This is the designation that signals Trump's intent to treat the drug not merely as a public health crisis, but as a national security threat as well. Ukrainian President Zelensky and U.S. representatives on Monday concluded 2 days of talks regarding the peace plan in Berlin. Both sides have said that the progress was made. Zelensky met with Donald Trump's special ambassador, Steve Witkoff, and Trump's son-in-law as well for about 2 hours is what the meeting that took place with Zelensky. They're saying the important conversations with the U.S. side are always complex and are difficult, but very productive at the same time. More than a dozen people were hurt when a San Francisco cable car abruptly stopped on Monday afternoon. 15 people have been injured, and those who have been injured are ranging from minor to about moderate injuries as what has been suffered in that incident that has taken place. 2 of them were immediately taken to the hospital. There are 11 others who are also being treated for what the department described as minor aches and pains. The San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency, which runs the cable cars, said it was actively investigating the accident and gave no reason for why the cable car stopped. Republican Senator Ted Cruz says that he wants restrictions on military flights approved before the government funding runs out at the end of next month. The announcement is to prevent another mid-air collision like the one over Washington, D.C. that killed 67 people in January.
Section 373 needs to be stripped and the bill sent back to the House so that President Trump can sign into law and cement his legacy as a champion of aviation safety. In addition to stripping this language, Congress should enact the Bipartisan Rotor Act, which Senator Cantwell and I authored together. Our bill, which we're working to tee up for a vote before the full Senate, would require precise location transmission for all aircraft operating around D.C. airspace.
Moving on to more news now, and as the Colombian President Gustavo Petro on Monday criticized the United States military strategy in the Caribbean. The president accused Washington of acting arbitrarily and killing civilians. Petro went on to accuse President Donald Trump of arrogance and said that it should seek out Colombia's advice if it wishes to tackle drug trafficking. Petro said that Trump's misidentification of some of those killed have also brought further complications for their relatives.
El lanchero de Santa Marta, cuya familia visité y supe de su barrio y cómo les habían allanado su casa, los mismos delincuentes del barrio, porque creían que tenían mucha plata guardada porque Trump había dicho que era un narcoterrorista muerto y el muerto no tenía techo sobre el cual dormir.
Moving on now, it's Venezuela's president on Monday slamming Chilean president-elect Jose Antonio Costa, warning him not to mess with Venezuelan, these are migrants. Now, Chile has become the largest and the latest country in Latin America to veer towards the right, electing a deeply conservative politician who has attracted comparisons to Donald Trump. Costa has expressed nostalgia for the 17-year the military dictatorship of the late General Augusto. Now, this is, of course, opposing the legislation as far as the legalization of the same-sex marriage is concerned, and advocated in recent years for a constitutional ban on abortion as well.
Tiene un gran reto porque va a tener a un presidente nazi pinochetista. Tiene un gran reto. Nosotros no nos metemos en eso. Son asuntos internos de Chile. Lo que sí yo me meto es decirle a este señor Kapp, usted podrá ser seguidor de Hitler y educado en los valores de Hitler. Usted podrá ser pinochetista, convicto y confeso, pero cuidadito, le toca un pelo a un venezolano. A los venezolanos se respeta. Cuidadito. Escúcheme bien, ¿no? El que se mete con Venezuela se seca y usted se puede secar aceleradamente, señor K. Se los digo desde Caracas.
Now, an ordinary Monday session in Mexico City's Congress descended into a brief scuffle amongst lawmakers. The tussle took place as a debate over transparency reform that turned into confrontational. Spectators and lawmakers raised their phones to record the struggle as members of rival blocs elbowed and pushed one another. The clash prompted a temporary suspension of the session. After lawmakers returned, the opposition walked out of the chamber. The ruling coalition then approved the reforms in their absence. A ceremony was held at the headquarters of the United Nations peacekeeping force in Sudan for 6 peacekeepers killed in a drone strike. The strike hit the peacekeeping logistics base on Saturday in the city in the central region of Kordofan. Now, all the victims were Bangladeshi nationals serving in the United Nations Interim Security Force. The United Nations again condemned the strike, warning attacks targeting UN peacekeepers could constitute war crimes under international law.
Yesterday, the Secretary General spoke by phone with the Chief Advisor of Bangladesh, Muhammad Yunus, to express his condolences to the government and people of Bangladesh and to convey his solidarity following this horrific attack. In the statement, the Secretary General underscored that attacks targeting United Nations peacekeepers may constitute war crimes under international law, and he reminds all parties to the conflict of their obligation to protect UN personnel and civilians.
And with that, we're slipping into a short break. Back with a whole lot more. You don't want to go anywhere. Stay with us.
Children don't start wars. They don't drop bombs or fire rockets, but they suffer and they get hurt. So after one of the worst years we've ever seen, we're asking you to pick a side, the side of children everywhere, by supporting Save the Children with a monthly gift. Your support can make a difference. Lana's story is proof of that. She was the first baby born in our emergency health unit in Gaza. Her mum was living in a tent when she went into labour, and our team helped her give birth safely. But later, Lana became dangerously ill with sepsis. We were able to help, and against incredible odds, Lana survived. Today, thousands more children urgently need food, medicine, and care. Pick their side. Please search Save the Children and give £5 a month. You could save a child's life.
Waitrose presents The Happily Ever After.
It's just how I imagined.
It's perfect.
It's the bacon, isn't it? So crispy. Look at that. Look at that.
The Snow Queen's ball. I need gifts. Mirror, mirror, where should I go? Boots, you say? pure catnip.
It's my favourite loose powder.
Puss!
Where have you been, Puss?
In boots, of course. Snowy. Just the job right, Rapunzel. I say, Cinders. I nailed that.
Sometimes it's the little things that remind us of them. Stay close, even when you're far apart. Send money worldwide with Remitly.
At Vodafone, get unlimited plus with EU roaming for only £25 per month, saving £360, and keep you and your family connected this Christmas. Hurry, offer ends the 17th of December, so go online or in-store today. Vodafone.
Rajasthan is history, culture and much more. And I have been reporting on all things royal for more than 25 years.
The colors, the culture and the complexities of the Northeast is different from the rest of the country. I have been bringing the Northeast closer to the capital for over 15 years.
Madhya Pradesh is the heart of India and I have been capturing its every beat for over 10 years. Covering the corridors of power, what is said, what is left unsaid, and what it actually means for you and me. I have it all covered.
Kashmir is often called paradise on earth, a region that has been in a state of flux from conflict to India's crowning glory. I have.
From the lens of diplomacy and foreign affairs, what is the transformation that you're seeking, not just next year, but in time moving forward? And what does transforming tomorrow mean to you, Dr. Jaishankar?
You know, obviously transforming tomorrow can have a variety of meanings to each person in their own profession or their call of, calling. Or as as an Indian, I can think of what tomorrow would mean for India. So if I were to put it all together, I mean, clearly all of us would like to see tomorrow an India which would be economically much stronger, which would technologically be much more so. And I feel, people don't always make that correlation as strongly as they do, which would, build up its manufacturing. That too is a conviction I hold very deeply that, we should be an industrial power. But from my particular perspective, tomorrow where we are actually able to navigate what I foresee as almost a generation of uncertainty. After all, look at it this way. Many of the assumptions that we held just a few years ago, perhaps the key assumptions are all a question mark. We had an assumption that globalization is here to stay. It is, in a manner of speaking, but it is under severe challenge in many ways. We had an assumption that the United States will always be a stabilizer of the international system. I think that's a very questionable assumption.
Welcome back. Now, the United States has suspended a technology deal it struck with Britain earlier this year, which was intended to boost ties in the artificial intelligence domain. Now, according to the Western media, British officials on Monday confirmed that the US has suspended the deal last week. The President of the United States, his administration has pushed for Britain's concessions in the areas of trade outside the tech partnership. And it's the IPL time for the auction to take place, and that's going to take place in Abu Dhabi today. A total of 350 players will be going onto the hammer as all the 10 franchises will be engaging in intense bidding wars. Many big names are up for grabs, including Venkatesh Iyer and Liam Livingstone as well. And with that, we're slipping into a short break. Back with a whole lot more. Stay with us.
Waitrose presents The Sacrifice.
Darling. Oh, is that for me?
Shop the best presents at Boots with 3 for 2 on hundreds of incredible gifts across skincare, makeup and more. Gift happily ever after. Boots.
Children don't start wars. They don't drop bombs or fire rockets, but they suffer. They get hurt. And too many children die. So, after one of the worst years we've ever seen, we're asking if you can pick a side, the side of children everywhere, by supporting Save the Children with a monthly donation. We might look at a crisis and feel overwhelmed. If it feels too complex or too political, you wonder if you can make a difference. But you can. Lana's story is proof of that. She was the first baby born in our emergency health unit in Gaza. Her mum had lost her home and was living in a tent when she went into labour, and our team helped her give birth safely. But days later, Lana became dangerously ill with sepsis. We treated her with antibiotics and round-the-clock care. And against incredible odds, this newborn baby in Gaza survived. Lana survived because help reached her. But right now, as you watch this, thousands more children urgently need food, medicine and care. Your £5 a month can help us save lives. Please, act now, because children need you to pick their side today. Search Save the Children to give £5 a month.
Work in rural areas, and many have seen it as a game changer over the past 2 decades. Now, the new bill that has been tabled in the Lok Sabha proposes to raise the 100-day guarantee to 125. It also proposes that payments are made within a week or 15 days after the work is completed. If the payments are not made within the deadline, there is also provision for an unemployment allowance. The new bill proposes the work under the scheme will be divided into 4 categories, which is water security, rural infrastructure, livelihood infrastructure, and disaster resilience. But Congress MPs are not going to accept this, is what they've said. They will go village to village, making sure that people are aware of this change in the name of the scheme. Priyanka Gandhi leading the charge there for the opposition, both inside Parliament and outside. Shashi Tharoor saying intent of restructuring the bill makes the program unviable and moves the burden also onto states. But the centre saying that this is going to benefit the poor. It's the upliftment of the poor, while you have the opposition MP saying send this bill to the standing committee. Aishwarya has been bringing us all voices from right outside Parliament. He joins me live now. Aishwarya, I was just telling our viewers, through this winter session of Parliament, however short it has been, we have seen opposition MPs come out and protest on various issues, but we haven't seen such a united front that we're seeing today over this particular issue from opposition MPs.
Well, that's right. Since morning, it was different opposition leaders who were stating that they are completely against this bill. It is also the opposition members from the India bloc stating that this bill is anti-poor, this bill is anti-India, and they will take the reality of this bill to the streets of the country as well. It is they will oppose in the Parliament and outside as well, as they clearly stated that this bill is just not something that disrespects the father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. It is also anti-poor. It will also create a lot of burden to the states. As far as 40% fund allocation is concerned, the states have no money to give employees, the government employees salary, and now extra 40% burden because of the G Ramji bill. The opposition clearly had held a march today outside the Parliament as soon as Shivraj Singh Chauhan moved the motion to table this bill. But many of the opposition members stated that first the bill should be sent to the standing committee and further scrutiny should happen. Different stakeholders should also be consulted. We have seen different opinions from the alliance partners of the NDA itself. I spoke to the TDP floor leader
Lavu Shri Krishna Devarayalu, he clearly mentioned that yes, the union government supports the state, but this will also require additional funds, and they expect the union government to give additional funds to the state as far as the 40% fund allocation from the state is concerned, as this is a new formula in the G Ramji bill. It will be centrally controlled is something that also the opposition party are saying, and therefore the reason perhaps the entire India bloc united together from Priyanka Gandhi Vadra to Akhilesh Yadav to TR Balu of the DMK, left parties, all were involved. They protested from the Makar Dwar, went to the Mahatma Gandhi statue, holding the posters of Mahatma Gandhi in their hands, and they clearly stated that this is a grave insult to father of the nation, and this issue will not end here in the parliament, but this will continue as they will spread this message of the anti-poor bill to the people of this country as well.
लेकिन कमाई को बढ़ाने की कोई बात नहीं की है। आज अगर आप किसी भी प्रदेश में जाएंगे, आपको पता चलेगा कि जो मनरेगा का बकाया अभी मिला नहीं है। तो जहाँ जाएंगे मजदूर यही कहते हैं कि अभी हमें पैसा नहीं मिला है। तो आप उतना पैसा नहीं दे पाए हो। केंद्र पहले 90% केंद्र की जिम्मेदारी होती थी कि केंद्र पैसे देगा। आज उन्होंने इस विधेयक से ये चाहते हैं कि वो कम हो जाए। तो जब वो कम होगा तो प्रदेश को देना पड़ेगा। जो गरीब प्रदेश हैं वो दे ही नहीं पाएंगे। इतना भार, इतना बोझ पड़ जाएगा उनकी अर्थव्यवस्था पर कि वो दे ही नहीं पाएंगे। जब दे नहीं पाएंगे तो क्या होगा? योजना खत्म हो जाएगी। दूसरी बात, आज जो गांव में काम होना है वो कौन तय करता है, कौन निर्धारित करता है? ग्राम प्रधान, पंचायत में निर्धारित होता है वो।